If you want to see how we took our pastures from this to this in just 1 year by using pasture poultry and adding carbon to the soil, stay tuned. Good morning, welcome back to Patch in the Prairie. It is a very cold mid-January morning. It's 5 degrees, and so we're gonna finally start unrolling some hay for our ewe flock. In the next few days it's supposed to get down to as low as -17, and so we want to make sure that they have plenty of food to stay warm and do well through this cold spell that we got. I wanted to mainly talk about this video about how we've used these regenerative practices that really work well, and the fact that this is the first bale of hay we're feeding our ewe flock. The last 2 years we've had to start feeding hay in early December, and we've made it a full 6 weeks later than normal because of the regenerative practices that we used starting last year. And yeah, so that's kind of going to be the point of this video, and we'll see how long the camera holds up in this cold temperature. So now we got to get the tractor warmed up. Almost there. Usually takes a few cranks on this old tractor when it's this cold in the morning, but once she's running, she does great. So we use two different ways of getting the hay out during winter. One's unrolling, which is what we're going to do now, and then later on I'll show you how we bale graze. Typically I try to target areas that are really short or don't have enough ground cover so we can add armor to the soil. It's supposed to get really windy later today with this cold front moving in, so I'm sticking this bale here in the shelter belt so the animals have some more shelter. And then also, so the hay doesn't blow away. Don't ask me how I learned that lesson.
Come on, sheep.
Usually I just go in a straight line, but this pasture is a little bit tight. I've been mentally designing a different bale unroller plan where I wouldn't have to drive the T-post into the bale. So that may just be the next video I make, so stay tuned for that. I think I'm gonna head inside and warm up for a little bit, and then I'll come back outside and explain how we do our bale grazing. Okay, so I thawed out a bit. It's just slightly warmer here this afternoon, but I want to talk a little bit about the other way that we manage grazing. So we do some bale grazing with our dairy cattle, and you can see we're in process of still feeding out this bale. You can see how much hay residue and manure they add to the area where the bale is. And so one thing that's really important is you don't leave the bale ring in the same place. And so we've been moving it around. As soon as they finish a bale, we move it to a new area. And just gonna get over here in a sec. Here is a place that they grazed 2 bales ago. Right up there in that little snow patch, that's where they were, as well as right there. And the plan will be just to continue going down this fence line so that we can continue to add carbon and fertility to the soil. Another really important aspect is keeping your soil covered. So you can see here that I have to do quite a bit of digging just to even get down to where the soil would be. And so that's really important. Keeping armor on your soil will help retain soil moisture, as well as for that plant matter to break down and add carbon to your soil. And so I'm really happy that just 1 year after a drought, we're able to have our pastures looking like this in the wintertime. This will set us up really good for spring. And we had an extremely dry fall, and we were able to still stockpile some grass because we'd laid so much litter down during the growing season. And then we had a very dry winter as well. That's why there's hardly any snow out here. And a little bit of predictions I've seen going into the growing season for 2025 are also it's calling to be dry. So I do think that whatever rain we do get here in the spring and summer, that we'll be able to trap it and retain most of it here, and hopefully be able to still grow grass even if it is going to be a dry year like is predicted. All right, everybody, thanks for watching, and let me know how you manage your pastures in the winter. I'd be curious to know what other people are doing. Thank you.